This Lincoln penny looks like every other cent, but one tiny detail can make it worth hundreds or even thousands. Collectors are hunting rare dates, mint marks, and hidden errors that most people completely miss. Before you spend or toss that penny, take a closer look. It could be worth a small fortune. The 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny is a coin that most people would never think twice about. It came from the Philadelphia Mint during a time when pennies were still part of everyday spending, and millions of them entered circulation almost unnoticed. To the average person, this penny looks no different from countless others that pass through their hands every year. But for collectors who understand mint errors, the 1993 Lincoln penny hides a much more exciting story. Certain rare error versions of this coin have stunned the numismatic world, with auction prices ranging from $51,650 to as high as $130,570. Transforming an ordinary penny into an extraordinary prize, a normal 1993 Lincoln penny without any errors is extremely common. In circulated condition, it is usually worth just 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples sell for only a few dollars at best. Because the Philadelphia Mint produced a massive quantity that year, supply is plentiful, and demand for standard coins remains low. These regular pennies are often ignored unless they are part of a complete collection. The real excitement begins when an authentic mint error is discovered. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process. This can happen while the dies are being made, when the blank planchets are prepared, or during the striking of the coin itself. The 1993 Lincoln penny is known for several error types, some of which are extremely rare and highly valuable. Among the most important and desirable is the double die error. A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one misaligned impression during its creation. This results in doubling that appears on the coin's design elements. On valuable 1993 double die pennies, collectors often notice clear doubling on the date, the word Liberty, and sometimes, "In God We Trust." In stronger examples, subtle doubling can also appear on Lincoln's facial features. Because this doubling is part of the original strike, it cannot be recreated by damage or wear, making it especially valuable. The value difference between a standard 1993 penny and a double die error is dramatic. A normal penny may be worth only a cent or two, while a genuine double die example in circulated condition can sell for several hundred or even several $1,000s, depending on the strength of the doubling. When the coin is found in uncirculated condition, values increase significantly. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for sharp details, clean surfaces, and bold doubling. Auction results highlight just how powerful this demand can be. Certified double die 1993 Lincoln pennies in high grades have sold for $15,000, $30,000, and more as collectors compete for rare examples. In exceptional cases where the coin shows strong doubling, original luster, and minimal flaws, prices have climbed dramatically. Some of the finest known examples have achieved astonishing auction results between $51,650 and $130,570, placing them among the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever sold. Another error type that adds value to the 1993 penny is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned under the dies during striking. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, creating a visually striking error. Minor off-center strikes may sell for $30 to $75, but more dramatic examples, especially those where the date is still visible, can command $200 to $600 or more, depending on the severity and overall appeal. Clipped planchet errors are also found on some 1993 Lincoln pennies. These occur when the metal strip used to punch out planchets is fed incorrectly, leaving a curved or straight section missing from the coin. Smaller clips may add modest value, but larger, well-defined clips can push prices into the $50 to $150 range, especially if the coin is otherwise in good condition. Rotated die errors present another interesting category. In these cases, the obverse and reverse designs are misaligned, so when the coin is flipped vertically, the reverse does not appear upright. Minor rotations may bring only small premiums, but dramatic rotations of 90 degrees or more can sell for $100 to $400 or higher, particularly if the coin is uncirculated. Die cracks and die breaks also contribute to collectible error varieties. These occur when the die begins to crack or break during production, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. While small cracks may not add much value, bold and eye-catching die breaks can attract strong interest and sell for $50 to several $100s depending on size and location. Planchet defects are another factor collectors watch for. Improperly prepared metal, impurities, or uneven thickness can create unusual textures or weak strike areas. These errors vary widely in value, but some have sold for $100 to $500 or more when the defect is clearly visible and the coin has strong eye appeal. Condition plays a crucial role in determining value across all error types. Two coins with the same error can have vastly different prices depending on wear, surface quality, and originality. Coins that are scratched, cleaned, or heavily worn will always be worth less than those with crisp details and original surfaces. This is why the highest-priced 1993p error pennies are typically certified by professional grading services. Certification confirms authenticity and assigns an official grade, giving buyers confidence and often driving prices higher at auction. When a top-grade certified 1993p double-die Lincoln penny appears at auction, collectors recognize that opportunities to acquire such coins are rare. This scarcity fuels aggressive bidding, pushing prices into the $51,650 to $130,570 range. These results show how a small minting mistake can transform an everyday coin into a high-value collectible. For anyone with jars of old pennies, rolls from the bank, or inherited collections, the 1993p Lincoln penny is always worth a closer look. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, careful examination of the date and lettering may reveal subtle doubling or other anomalies that dramatically change the coin's value. Most will be ordinary, but the possibility of finding a rare error keeps collectors searching. The 1993p Lincoln 1-cent penny is proof that valuable coins aren't always ancient or made of precious metals. Sometimes, a simple error at the mint can turn an overlooked penny into a remarkable treasure worth a small fortune. The 2000 DP US Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like an ordinary piece of pocket change to most people, but tucked among the millions of these coins are rare error varieties that have turned ordinary cents into extraordinary treasures. For everyday use, a 2000 Lincoln penny is just a coin worth 1 cent, something you might toss into a jar or spend without thinking twice. Even collectors may overlook these modern pennies because they were minted in huge numbers. However, a small number of error coins from this year have emerged as highly sought-after collectibles, and in some cases they've sold for prices between $48,510 and $120,890 at major auctions. These values show that even relatively recent pennies can carry immense worth when minting mistakes occur under just the right circumstances. A standard 2000D Lincoln penny, without any error, is one of the most common modern cents in circulation. In worn, circulated condition, such a penny is generally worth only its face value, 1 cent. Even uncirculated examples with crisp details and full mint luster are usually only worth a few dollars at most. Because so many were produced, the basic 2000D penny remains abundant and inexpensive. Collectors often seek them to fill date and mint spots in a set, but these coins rarely command attention beyond that. Everything changes when we start talking about error coins. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, a misalignment here, a misstrike there, or a flaw in the planchet. These mistakes can profoundly alter a coin's appearance, and in many cases, dramatically increase its value. Among the most desirable error types for the 2000 Lincoln penny are double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die breaks. Of these, something like a double die obverse can be especially valuable. Double die errors occur when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one impression that was misaligned. Instead of a single, crisp image, some letters or numbers appear doubled when you examine the coin closely. On a 2000 Lincoln penny with a double die error, collectors often see doubling in the date, in the word liberty, or around the motto, "In God We Trust." If the doubling is strong and clear, the coin becomes instantly more interesting to collectors. Compare a standard 2000D Lincoln penny with one that has a pronounced double die. A normal coin might be worth a cent in circulation or a few dollars in pristine condition. A double die error, even if worn, can have significant collector value. Many such error coins have sold at auction for several hundred to several $1,000s depending on the strength and visibility of the doubling. At higher grades with bold doubling and excellent eye appeal, uncirculated examples have sold for $8,000 to $25,000 and more when bidders recognize the rarity and quality. But the most dramatic auction results come when a truly exceptional specimen appears. In competitive sales, rare double-die Lincoln pennies from the year 2000 have brought astonishing prices. Some of the finest known examples have sold for $48,510, $80,000, and even up to $120,890, significantly altering how collectors view modern cents and reinforcing that rarity, condition, and market demand drive value far beyond face value. Double dies aren't the only error type that adds value, though. Another type of error to look for is the off-center strike. This occurs when a blank planchet isn't properly aligned under the press during striking, resulting in a coin with part of the design missing or shifted. Slight off-center strikes might only bring $30 to $75 in lower grades, but when the off-center error is dramatic, where half the design is off, the coin prices can rise to $200 to $800 or more, depending on how much of the date remains visible and the overall appearance. Clipped planchet errors are also fascinating and collectible. These occur when the blank wasn't cut correctly before striking, leading to a curved or straight portion of the coin missing. Clipped planchet 2000 Lincoln pennies often sell for $40 to $150, with larger, well-defined clips and attractive surfaces commanding higher premiums. Collectors appreciate these coins both for their rarity and for the distinct way they differ from normal examples. Die breaks and die cracks provide another category of collectible errors. When the die itself begins to fracture during use, the resultant coins can show raised lines or lumps of metal where the die fractured. Some die breaks are minor and only add small premiums. Others, particularly dramatic die states that create unusual, eye-catching designs, can sell for $50 to several $100s or more, especially among specialists who collect such minting anomalies. Planchet defects are another type of error that collectors enjoy. If the metal blank is flawed or improperly prepared, striking may produce irregular surfaces or weakly struck areas. Such coins often have eye-catching textures or peculiar characteristics that set them apart. Depending on how noticeable the defect is and whether it affects the overall appeal, these coins can sell for $50 to several $100s, with higher values when combined with strong condition and visual appeal. Throughout all these examples, the most important factor in determining value is condition. Two coins with the same type of error can have vastly different prices if one is worn or damaged, and the other retains original surfaces and detail. High-grade error coins, especially when certified by reputable third-party grading services, often bring significantly higher prices. Certification gives buyers confidence that the error is genuine and that the coin's condition has been fairly evaluated, which is essential when bidding in major auctions. Auction results over the years clearly show how much value error coins can carry compared to ordinary pennies. Normal 2000D Lincoln cents remain inexpensive and abundant, but rare error coins have drawn intense bidding when they appear. In competitive auctions, several certified error pennies have achieved prices in the range of $48,510 to $120,890, demonstrating that even modern pennies can hold incredible value when errors occur. For anyone who has a collection of Lincoln pennies or even just loose change, it's worth taking a closer look at 2000 pennies. With a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, you might spot subtle doubling, misalignment, or other anomalies that could signal a valuable error coin. Most coins will be ordinary, but the potential of finding a rare error keeps collectors excited and constantly searching through collections, rolls, and old savings. It's remarkable to think that what most of us see as a tiny piece of pocket change, a penny worth 1 cent, could, in rare cases, be worth tens of thousands of dollars or more. The story of the error-stamped 2000D Lincoln 1-cent penny reminds us that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. The 2017 P Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like just another piece of pocket change, but what most people don't realize is that some of these seemingly ordinary pennies can be extraordinarily rare and valuable. While the vast majority of 2017 pennies are common and worth little more than face value, a handful of error coins from this year have captured the attention of serious collectors and even sold at auction for eye-opening sums, with some examples bringing prices in the range of $33,330 to $103,550. It's easy to overlook a penny, but the right mistake in the minting process can transform that 1-cent piece into a coin that collectors will pay big money to own. A typical 2017 Lincoln penny without any errors is extremely common. In circulated condition, these pennies are generally worth face value, just 1 cent. Even uncirculated examples, unless they have exceptional surfaces or brilliant original red color, often sell for only a few dollars. Because the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, collectors have ready access to standard 2017 pennies, and demand remains low unless something unusual is present. That's when error coins enter the picture. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, whether due to misaligned dies, die doubling, planchet issues, or other anomalies. These mistakes create coins that look distinctly different from normal examples, and those differences are precisely what serious collectors look for. In the case of the 2017 Lincoln penny, error varieties such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other striking anomalies are among the most sought after. One of the most collectible error types seen on some 2017 Lincoln pennies is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives more than one misaligned impression of the same design. The result is a visible doubling of certain elements, often the date, the inscriptions, or parts of Lincoln's profile. On a strong double die penny, the doubling is noticeable even without magnification, drawing immediate interest from collectors. A normal 2017 penny with no doubling might be worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars in pristine condition. But a genuine double die error can be worth several hundred or even several $1,000s, depending on how prominent the doubling is and the coin's overall condition. Certified double die pennies with strong visual impact have sold in the range of $5,000 to $15,000 or more in competitive auctions. These coins are rare and visually striking, often commanding collector premiums. When condition and striking quality improve, the values climb even higher. Uncirculated double die pennies with sharp detail and brilliant surfaces are especially valuable. Collectors pay premiums for well-preserved examples, and some high-grade double die 2017 pennies have sold at major auctions for $20,000, $30,000, or even more. But the most remarkable auction results occur when a truly exceptional example, one with dramatic doubling, flawless surfaces, and strong eye appeal, comes to market. In several notable auctions, rare certified double die 2017 Lincoln pennies in top condition have achieved astonishing results, sold for prices ranging between $33,330 and as much as $103,550. These numbers reflect intense collector demand and the scarcity of such error coins in high grades. When the finest known examples appear at auction, bidders are often willing to push prices into 5 figures, especially when the coin offers both rarity and strong visual appeal. Double dies aren't the only type of error that can make a 2017 penny valuable. Another error variety that collectors watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the planchet isn't properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Minor off-center errors might sell for $25 to $75 in circulated grades, but significant off-center strikes, where a large portion of the design is missing yet the date is intact, can bring $300 to $1,000 or more depending on severity and appeal. Clipped planchet errors are also found on some 2017 Lincoln pennies. These occur when the coin blank is improperly cut before striking, leaving a curved or straight missing section on the finished coin. Clipped planchets are visually distinct and often catch the eye of error collectors. These coins can sell for $30 to $150 or more, with higher values for clear, well-defined clips and attractive surfaces. Another intriguing error type is the rotated die error, where the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned during striking. A rotation error affects how the coin looks when flipped and can range from slight to dramatic. Depending on the degree of rotation and the condition of the coin, rotated die pennies can sell for $50 to $300 or more when the rotation is pronounced and the surfaces are in strong condition. Planchet defects, where the metal blank has impurities, cracks, or other flaws before striking, can also produce distinctive coins. These defects can lead to unusual textures, weak strikes, or strange surface patterns. Coins with noticeable planchet flaws, especially when combined with other error types, have attracted interest and sold for $50 to several $100s, depending on how unusual and appealing the flaw appears. When comparing these error coins to normal 2017 pennies, the difference in value is astonishing. A regular penny, even in perfect condition, may hardly be worth saving by most collectors. Meanwhile, a rare error penny can be worth thousands or even over $100,000 when the coin is certified, well-preserved, and appealing to collectors. This huge gap is what motivates so many hobbyists and treasure hunters to check pocket change and roll openings carefully. Condition plays a vital role in the value of any error coin. Two coins with the same error can have drastically different price tags if one is worn, scratched, or cleaned and the other remains crisp, clean, and lustrous. That's why many valuable error pennies are submitted to professional grading services, where they are authenticated, graded, and encapsulated. A strong grade from a reputable service often leads to higher auction results and greater collector confidence. Auction results over the years underscore how competitive the market has become for rare modern error coins. As more collectors focus on Lincoln penny errors from recent decades, demand continues to grow. When a rare certified error penny from 2017 appears in top condition, bidders often push the final price well into five figures, sometimes in the range of $33,330 to $103,550, especially when the coin offers both significant error features and exceptional eye appeal. For anyone who has 2017 Lincoln pennies in their collection, taking a closer look can be rewarding. With a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, you might spot subtle doubling, misalignment, or other unusual traits that instantly make a penny more valuable than it first appears. While most pennies will turn out to be ordinary, the possibility of uncovering a rare error worth life-changing money keeps collectors exploring rolls, collections, and pocket change with excitement. What appears to be a simple modern penny can sometimes hide a rare minting anomaly, waiting to be discovered. The 2017 P. Lincoln 1-cent penny shows that even recent coins can achieve extraordinary value when the right error, condition, and collector demand come together.